Hi, this is Pat Walker at Mission Winners. DraftKings, the ticker symbol's DKNG. Background. There are two types of analysis that you can do with stocks. There's fundamental, and that looks at the earnings and the sales numbers, return on equity, profit margins, debt ratios, all the financials related to a company, PE ratios. We like to look at a few of those constraints. In the fundamental area, we love to find companies that have either A, great earnings, and or B, great sales growth, great revenue growth, or they are in leading groups. Big constraint for us. If a stock is in the top 10 groups and it has a great chart pattern and a really high composite rating and a really strong relative strength rating and a really strong accumulation distribution rating, and again, it's in the top 10 groups, it can make the cut. We're very stringent. I've been doing this since 1986. And so I found, and I supported a family of 6 by our investing profits, finding ways to control risk, finding ways to increase the potential for profits. And it works. It works. Does it work every time? Nothing works every time. So we are extremely stringent in our entries and we are extremely stringent in our exits. Do you see this white line here? Those are clean tops. If it pushes above that line, it's a buy. If it falls below that line, it's a sell. 5, 7, 8% losses? No way. Hey, I'm shooting for 3 to 4. That's what I'm after. We have constraints. You can say, Patrick, DraftKings, give me the financials. Last quarter, they lost 55 cents a share. Oh, that's no good, Pat. I'm in agreement. Last quarter's revenues were up 24%. And you can say, Pat, that doesn't make the grade. But there's something else, and I stated this. And I'm going to be really specific for you. This will help you. Focus on stocks that last quarter's earnings were up 40% or higher. Or focus on stocks that the average sales for 2 quarters were up 40% on average. Or, not and, or it's a stock in the top 40 groups. We always want stocks in the top 40 groups, regardless of earnings and sales growth. But another constraint we can use without earnings and sales growth is it's in the top 40 groups and it's got a niche and it has a really high composite rating and a really strong accumulation distribution rating. So there you go. There is the recipe for foundations for finding super stocks. So we're looking here at DraftKings. More foundations, group rank. Remember I said we want it in the top groups? This is an industry group number 4. It was in the top 10 groups when it broke out. It has an accumulation distribution of A. It had a high accumulation distribution rating when it broke through this line. It has a composite rating of 97. It makes the cut. We control risk. How can we control risk? We always look for really clean, tight chart patterns. Right here, bluntly, price is good above the white line and it's bad below the white line. So as I stated earlier, it keeps the losses very small if it doesn't work. Many people talk about, oh, the money they can make, the money they can make. It's also very important to be cognizant of the money you might lose. And if you have a precise entry spot, you also have a precise exit spot. Isn't that great? I love it. You know why we run it like a business? Because that's what it is. It's a business. We run it like a business. We're not going to shoot from the hip and do all kinds of crazy stuff. That doesn't work. There's another investing maxim. This is mine. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. I want to go where they're voting. And how can you find that? It's really simple, folks. All you got to do is look at the charts and look at the price and volume action. Stock's kind of meandering here. Look at that big green volume bar. Green is good. Red is bad. See the size of that bar? That's huge. They're buying the tar out of it on this bar. Then it goes sideways a couple of bars. You can say, well, there's a red bar, Pat. The magnitude of this red bar is dramatically less than this green bar. And then it just goes sideways. Everything's fine. And then you get this bar. Look at that. Look at the power in that bar. Closing in the top third of its range. They weren't selling on that bar, folks. They were buying. So you have a big green bar here and you have another green bar right here. Ready? Let's round it out. Then it just kind of meanders, picks up a little bit. Little red, little green, and then you get another big green bar right there. And this is intriguing. Where does it stop? Right here, basically right at the old highs in this pattern, right there. And what does it do next? It pauses for a day. Think about this, folks. And we analyze these charts. This is what we teach. Goes up, pulls back on less volume. Clean tops here, clean tops here. Just a simple line. If you have to look for the pattern, it's probably not there. And I'll say this again. Focus on chart patterns that everybody can see. It increases the odds that they'll buy too. Years ago, when I was a broker and getting involved with CanSlim, I had a friend of mine who was talking about chart patterns. And he says to me, he goes, Pat, this is awesome. I've found a chart pattern that nobody else knows about. I said, wow, really? He goes, yeah, this is going to be so cool. And I said to him, I said, so if you're the only person that knows about this chart pattern, will other people buy? You know, you're the only one that knows. And he says, oh, yeah, no, I don't think so. I said, hey, you get my point. Focus on the best of the best. It is sweet potato pie. That's what we're after. So we're looking here, and there's another investing maxim for you, folks. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. And you know what I love? I love it when they're voting with us. We're all seeing the same dang thing, and we're going for it. So this stock makes the cut. Why? It's in the top groups. It's industry group number 4. It was an industry group number 4 right here. Everything's awesome. It's got the great price-volume relationships. Relative strength, 99. Relative strength was leading the stock into new high ground when it was right here. It's got the power, fundamental power, technical power. So I guess all we got to do is wait for the breakout, right? So let's advance it. 1 bar. Look at the volume surge there. It's huge. Put it in perspective, on this bar, the stock did 29.9, we'll call it 30 million shares. Did 30 million shares on that bar. On this bar, 50 million shares. 50 frickin' million shares. They bought the tar out of it right there. Now there's another investing maxim that a lot of people say. Oh man, you got a profit, sell it. Sell it. This is something we're really big on in Mission Winners. We strive to ride profits as long as possible, and we strive to limit losses. You see this really clean line right here? Price is good above that line and bad below. Sell it here? Well, what if it goes higher? You missed out on more gains. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced this, but I will tell you something that's maddening. Buying a stock and it goes up and you sell it. I got my gain. I'm happy with my 4-point profit. I'm selling. That's it. I'm done. And you sell it. It keeps going and you're out of it. Has that ever happened to any of you? Is that frustrating? I hate that stuff. So here we go. We're in it, rock and roll. Let's move on. Nice bar. You can say, wait, that's a red bar, Pat. The volume's substantially less. The low here is substantially higher. You've got a profit zone on it. You're fine. Sit with it. Everything's okay. Goes up. Oh, baby, look at that. Now, got a little bit extended. What could you do? Well, I'll tell you what we were doing. We were adding to it. See this bar right here? We were adding on this baby. We were buying more. Okay? This bar here, quiet. Spikes up. Hey, maybe take a little bit off here. This is good gains. All right? I mean, our average price is right about here, folks. Why? Because we were buying it right. What's it do? Look at that bar. Gaps down, falls, and then closes up on heavy volume. That is sweet potato pie right there. We love it. Say, okay, what are we going to do? Next bar goes higher. Now, what's the lesson on this bar? It went up, volume was heavy, but it was less than this day, and it was less than this day, and it was less than this day. So what do? You sell some. You sell some, lock some profits in. But not all of it. Let some of it work. You get, so well, how much are you selling? Oh, well, 20%, 25%, 25%. I mean, folks, we're not going crazy here. We're trying to run this thing as long as possible. Keep going with it. Drops down. Right to the 8-day. And on this bar, we had sold some. Okay? But we got a great profit, folks. We're up 7 points on these shares. And let's round it out. Goes back up. Everything's great. Drops down. No problems. We've locked gains in. Gaps down and reverses. Closes right above the 8 EMA on a pick up in volume. So what's the moral here? I want to drive home this point. This is huge. Focus on stocks that are in leading groups, or focus on stocks that last quarter's earnings are up 40% or higher, or focus on stocks that last quarter's revenue growth was up 40% or higher for 2 quarters average. Focus on stocks that have a great chart pattern with a high accumulation distribution rating and a high relative strength rating and a high composite rating. Folks, it's a recipe for a cake. I was an IBD meetup co-leader for 12 years. We hit this stuff hard every month. And you know what? It helped the people that came to the meetings. And that was what I was after. And that's why I do Mission Winners, is, let's be honest, this ain't easy, okay? People fly out of control. People get their butts kicked. They don't know what the heck they're doing. They don't limit losses. They've got gains and they don't take any, and it turns into losses. All that stuff will drive you nuts. So you know what? I've been doing this since '86. Developed time-tested rules, tactics, discipline on how to get in, how to take some out, how to ride trends, how to manage gains, how to manage risk. Let it work for as long as possible, folks. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. It's what we do at Mission Winners. We are big on finding great companies in great bases, in great groups, and when they break out on great volume surges just like this one. You know what it is? It's a recipe for a good cake. It works. Or you could even say this. That's sweet potato pie right there. There you go. That's what we do. Anyway, I hope this helps you. The idea is to explain the tactics, the routines, the regimen, so that you understand it too.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.